Right. Thank you so much for coming today and joining us for this amazing book launch and discussion with Deborah Hanekamp, aka Mama Medicine. She's wonderful. She's here right now. I'm going to switch it over to her, and she can give you a more erudite explanation of her background and also the wonderful space and book that she's created. And off to you, Deborah.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to go into a little bit about my book, Ritual Baths. I'm going to read to you a little bit about the book, and then I'm going to tell you how you can build a beautiful ritual bath for yourself at home. Just a little bit about me. I've been working within the spiritual world, offering something called medicine readings for the past 20 years. It is my life's work, and I'm very dedicated to it. You can follow me on Instagram at Mama Medicine. You can also get more information about medicine readings on mamamedicine.com and see all the websites where you can order this book. Really, the book is available anywhere books are sold, but you can get more info on it on mamamedicine.com. Also, just Friday, I relaunched Space by Mama Medicine. Space by Mama Medicine was a healing space in Soho for 3 years. And then in December, I closed the doors to the physical space. And on Friday, opened the doors to the global universal online Space by Mama Medicine, which is an online community that's focused on live events. But then there's all this other really cool be your own healer work that you can do on the side. Like there's this whole aura medicine course where you can do an aura quiz, and then you can go to that aura color and you can do all like a cleanse and all this stuff for your aura. There's all these resources to be your own healer. And the big thing that I want to tell you, if I were to like sum up 20 years in a nutshell of this spiritual path and the work that I do, is that I just want to help, through the experience that I've gained, through the wisdom that I've gained, inspire other people to be their own healer. You know, I opened a lot of doors on the spiritual path and trainings and things like that for myself along the way. Everything, be it spending 8 years going back and forth to the Peruvian Amazon or 5 years going back and forth to Thailand, everything really led me back into myself and was this constant reminder that I have all the answers that I seek within me. And through patience and presence and perseverance, all the answers that I need to know at this time will reveal themselves to me. And that is what inspires medicine readings, where you come and we meet for a one-on-one online, whether there's a pandemic or not, we meet online. And I read your aura, tell you about what I see coming up. We do a whole healing ceremony, and then I send you on your way with some homework. But it's really about you, like first setting the space with talking about what you're going through, what you're working on, and me just having an open ear and listening. And, you know, whether the shape of my work is a book or it's a medicine reading or it's this online space, it's all really focused on you being your own healer. And I think that if anything, I would be more of an empowerer than a healer. It's not that like when you come for a medicine reading, I'll just say, oh, go figure it out yourself. You're on your own. But I will help you like dig up some tools that you can use to be your own healer. And tools that you can use that you probably already have, you know, and it's just like floating around somewhere in space somewhere, and you just need to like pull it down and start using it. So ritual baths are something that I began prescribing my clients back in 2007, I believe. At the end of a medicine reading, they would come, I would prescribe a ritual bath, then send them on their way. And I really loved that people felt so excited about what came through for them in the bath. You know, I was first introduced to ritual baths back when I was like 8 years old and, you know, being raised in the Baptist church. And then it came around again later on when I was doing a very intense apprenticeship in the Amazon. And I met up with ritual baths again there. And the baths and like the medicine of the bath just kept on floating around. And this concept that like we are 70% water. So of course, like submerging ourselves in water will be profoundly healing for us. And putting different things intentionally into the bath, because like the number one most important ingredient in a ritual bath is intention, helps to ignite and fire up that healing energy. So the baths were so well received and applicable and approachable because everybody has taken a bath before, and everybody knows you feel one way when you, before you get into a bath, and you feel a different way when you get out of the bath. And so they were so widely received that I wrote a book about ritual baths. And this book just came out on March 24th. And it's really, really special. There was a lot of work done on it. There's lots of different photos all throughout it. And it's separated into aura color, because for me, that's just the easiest way to break down information. And look, Spirit Baby's bath. And if you don't know what your aura color is, you can do two things. You can just read the book cover to cover, because each bath has like a channeled message before you get the actual ingredients for the bath. And then, you know, reading it cover to cover could be just really interesting and insightful. Or you can flip to the back of the book. Gotta find this one. Here it is. And there's this really fun aura quiz in the back of the book. You can take the aura quiz. There's also an aura quiz on spacedbymamamedicine.com that you can do. And then there's a whole like broken down aura medicine work that you can do that's a little bit deeper than the bath. But let's say you got like a violet aura, right? You would flip to the violet section and you would take whatever bath speaks to you the most. The other way you can use the book, this is my most favorite part, is just by closing your eyes and then opening up to any page. And that's the page that you need to read from. So I got a middle page. Hold on a second. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to read to you one of the baths. Oh, it's getting started. Okay, let me try it again. Ooh, this one is called For All My Relationships bath. Let's see what it says. So the element that this bath corresponds with, oh, the aura color is orange. The element is earth, the direction west, the astrology signs of Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus. The season of summer, and the bath pairs really well with a rose and saffron tea. Yum. If you weren't blessed to have healthy relationships modeled for you when you were younger, creating healthy relationships in life can be very difficult. When people come in for a medicine reading, one of the things that gets discussed the most is relationships. I will start with the big one, which is our romantic relationships. We live in a culture that finds it impossible to be happy with what we have. For the most part, we are asking ourselves what's next rather than what's now. We can also treat a romantic relationship in this way. I think that if you are in a marriage and you are truly suffering, you must decide if it's best for you to continue this way or not. But most of the time, I think it's important to try to work it out. Why? Male or female, I think that we are often attracted to people who have a similar energy to our mothers. Our relationship with our mothers, if you were adopted, this includes both birth mother and adoptive mother, are the most important we will ever have. Often we choose our mothers, and our spirits float around her, waiting for the right time for us to come through. If we go through our whole childhood and teenage years, not working through the shadow energy in the relationship with our mothers, we then choose partners who will give us another chance to learn and grow. This is why we are sometimes so deeply attracted to people whose words and actions cause us suffering. They are not making us suffer. We are choosing to suffer because that is what is needed in order for us to grow. You have to decide to be done with the suffering. Decide that you are ready to grow. But that doesn't always mean being done with the relationship that you are in. There are 2 practices I recommend for creating healthy relationships, whether romantic, familial, or platonic. 1, confrontation, and 2, conscious connection. One of the things that can really hold us back from growing through our relating is when we are hurt or not speaking up for ourselves when something or someone is bringing us down. Most of us are afraid of confrontation, but I think that is a mistake. I think it is possible to become spiritual and think we've let go, but in reality, that energy is getting stored up somewhere, and it will find its way out through our skin, our bellies, or an unnecessary outburst. Sometimes we will wait years and years and have that confrontation from a place of calcified suffering. I suggest when you are feeling hurt, rather than holding it in, let go of the fear of being uncomfortable and talk about it. Sometimes we need to consciously confront ourselves and really look at the choices we've been making that caused us harm. Sometimes we need to consciously confront a friend or a family member, and sometimes we need to consciously confront our partners. We must tell them in the moment or after taking a brief pause to put our anger and hurt in check that something feels off. I don't believe we need to yell. I think it's important, no matter how hurt you are, to put yourself in the other's shoes and try to understand where they were coming from. I think that this is a place where you can really embrace being an empath, and your sensitivity is your strength. Take a deep breath, be brave, and confront. Conscious connection can be just as difficult or scary as conscious confrontation. In our relationship with ourselves, homes, parents, children, friends, and romantic partners, it can be easy to just continue. It is easy to squeeze into the mold we've poured for ourselves and show up as the person others expect us to be rather than as our authentic selves. Connecting and reconnecting can give us the opportunity to have the courage to show up as ourselves and embrace the idea that we are constantly evolving human beings. Ask your loved one to do something with you that feels like true connection, whether that's taking a walk, having a conversation, or engaging in more eye contact. You may find that when you are the first one who makes the move to consciously connect, your partner has really been craving it too. There's a reason why we humans need to have relationships in order to continue life. Relationships are hard work, yes, but they also help us to grow. And really the only thing we are here to do is grow. We are here to make things better for future generations. This bath may not heal all of your relationships in 20 minutes, but it might give you a moment to connect to the creative inspiration you have within you and help you grow alongside the people you love through conscious confrontation and conscious connection. The ingredients for this bath is 1 cup Epsom salt, 1 cup ocean water, 1 cup water that has caught the full moon light, 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar, saffron tea, white pine needles, a handful of pink rose petals, 10 drops of rose absolute and 5 drops of patchouli essential oils, and rose quartz crystals. Place all the ingredients in a bath at the temperature of your choosing. Light a candle. Create a smudge using sustainable Palo Santo, wafting the smoke around you using a feather you have found in nature. Step into your bath and dunk your head under water. Place the rose quartz on your belly. Scan your body for any place where you are holding relationship tension. Pay extra attention to your joints. If you find any relationship tension in your body, where is it coming from? What can you do to heal the relationship? Take a long time with this bath and sit and soak in the magic and the medicine that you've created. So that is a little bit from the book. And, you know, with the ingredients, I think it's like one thing that, and I already see like a lot of questions being asked about it. Honestly, I think it's important to know that like you don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch of stuff or like find a whole bunch of stuff, or like, it's not like baking a cake where like if you're missing the vanilla, it's gonna taste really off. It's a lot different because the magic that you are really putting into the bath is not the external ingredients. It is the magic that is in you and the intention that you set with going into the bath. And this isn't just like woo-woo, like far out stuff. It is that we are made up of water. Water holds memory. When we put an intention of love, and you can even say, you know, into the bath, healing all of my relationships, the water will hold the memory of that intention that was set. And then you will get into the bath and the memory of your, maybe your past like hurt relationships and things like that, that's held in the waters of your body, will meet up with the memory of the water of the bath. One healing, maybe one wound. And then as time and patience heals, the time in the bath can help energetically to heal the wound. So I really love, for like creating a really beautiful ritual bath, doing this practice of like walking around my house and finding things that I already have and putting that intention into those things and then putting them in the bath. For example, I found this beautiful heart stone on the beach. This is one of my most favorite things to put in the bath because it's the energy of love. And so this would be maybe my substitute for rose quartz in a recipe for a bath, or it would be my substitute for obsidian or smoky quartz, right? Because it's just like the earth energy that puts a stone in there. And let's say I don't have like sage or Palo Santo or a selenite wand to smudge my aura out with. I'm just going to use a little piece of a cinnamon stick. It doesn't even have to be a whole cinnamon stick. I'm going to light that, blow the end. See this perfect little smudge, and it smells amazing, and it's so protective, and it's so cleansing. If you have rosemary in your spice rack, you can use a little bit of rosemary tea. One of the things I'll put in my bath later is that I found these beautiful rose petals when I was out for a walk. So I'll just put the rose petals in my bath, and then it'll feel very loving, and it'll smell so good and feel good. So really, that's a beautiful bath that's been created, and it's all just with stuff that's found and little treasures. And I almost feel like It's the little treasures that we find rather than feeling like we have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff that is like our medicine finding us. Like a lot of people ask me, you know, where can I get this crystal? Where can I get this drum? And I'm like, let it find you. Like, let your crystal find you. Let your drum find you. Let your medicine find you. Already, your medicine is in you. So if you do need an external tool, you're going to attract it to you. No problem. I want to leave the last couple minutes just to answer any questions that you may have for me. It can be anything. I see some questions building up in the chat. So yeah, go ahead, and if you have any questions for me, you can type it into the chat box on your screen, and you can ask me anything, and I'll tell you if it's too personal. And, oh, I see a question popped up. Okay. Can you use dandelion flowers from a non-chemical lawn? Yes, absolutely. That's a beautiful, beautiful plant to use. You can use the leaf and the flower. Maybe the root you leave there just for now. And this is to help to remind you who you are. Okay, let's see. What are your morning and evening rituals? Well, I wake up at about 5 a.m. and I take an hour to sit in silence with myself. Sometimes I go up on my roof. I live in Williamsburg. Sometimes I go up on my roof and I watch the sunrise and drink tea and do some sun gazing. Sometimes I need to stay inside and just sit in silence and stillness, but I give myself like an hour of silent meditation, not looking at the phone, not doing anything, but sitting and being quiet. And then I maybe go for a run, maybe go do yoga, maybe do like the class, just something to get my body moving. And then by that time, my daughter will wake up. I get her breakfast going. Today I braided some flowers into her hair, all that kind of fun mom stuff before I start my day of medicine readings. In the evening, I like to take a bath and read Rumi till I fall asleep, or just listen to really good music. By the way, if you go to Spotify and you go to Space by Mama Medicine, that profile, I made a whole bunch of different playlists for all 11 different aura colors that might be fun to check out. Do you have a process for cleaning baths? Because when I add all of these yummy ingredients, it's so hard to clean and takes me out of my meditative state. You know, I don't think it should be that hard to clean. I think it's like just washing it out, and then you can wipe the tub down with some lemon water or a little bit of apple cider vinegar water. But if it's a real pain in the butt, if you're using like tiny loose herbs, go ahead and place them in a muslin bag and put that in the bath, or put them in like a little tea strainer, or pre-prepare the tea in a teapot and then dump it into your bath. But the cleanup actually should really be part of the ritual. You know, as you're cleaning up the herbs, you're saying thank you to them. You're feeling the vibration of the plants as their chi or their energy is starting to fade away. And then you can take the herbs and offer them back to the earth. And it's actually like a really beautiful way of showing gratitude for the medicine that you received. Would you ever consider recycling the herbs from tea bags? Yes, definitely. Go for it. And then what are alternatives to ocean water? Any water, maybe just water that you bless. You know, it's so simple, like to just hold a glass of water before you drink it or before you put it in your bath. Close your eyes and maybe just say thank you into it, or send some intention or medicine into it. Okay, let's see. How do you develop the ability to see aura colors? I don't know. I used to try to teach people how to see auras. Because I've been doing this work for so long, I've had many iterations of what I show up as. And at one point, I was trying to train other people to heal and to be healers. And I don't do that anymore because I feel like what I've created at spacebymamamedicine.com is a way to support people on their healing path, or maybe they are healers and they want to grow their healing business. But I don't actually want to train people anymore because I feel like nobody can really understand the language of your intuition as much as you can. And then again, it goes back to patience, presence, perseverance, and being one's own healer to like awaken that. With the aura, I think that we can all sense the aura field in some way. For me, it happens to be with sight, but like you might happen to just like feel it. Like you can kind of feel somebody's sad, or you think about someone, you call them, and then you realize that like they really needed to talk to you about something. This is sensing energy, right? You walk into a room, it's empty, it should be fine. Something about it feels like heavy and dank. You're feeling like the auric field of the space. You can also hear auras. So I used to try to train people how to see auras. One of the ways was by taking your hand and looking at it in front of a white wall. And then you close your eyes and you see if you see any colors. Sometimes worked, sometimes didn't. You can try that. There were some other ways too, but that's what I would start with. But just because you don't see aura colors doesn't mean you're not incredibly intuitive. Remember that. What kind of bath do you suggest for the coming new moon in Gemini? Really, any of the blue baths in this book, any of like the blue aura baths would be good. Hi, any ritual/advice on how to move on from too much digging, feel more confident, and leave the past behind and enjoy what you have learned already? Such a good question. I don't know if any of you saw recently, I did, or actually it was at the beginning of April, I did a video on demanifestation. This is really important. It's not anti-manifestation, it's just being happy with what you already have, finding the extraordinary in the ordinary, that enlightenment is available when we know contentment. And I think sometimes we can be like, well, I'm content with my material belongings, even though most of the time, most of us aren't. But then maybe you're not content with like your body or your psychic abilities, or, we're always like trying to fix and grow. And I think that maybe that's like a little bit of like capitalism finding its way into like the spiritual world in a way. And I think that if you just kind of put things down sometimes, you realize that what you need comes to you exactly when you need it. Thank you all for the really beautiful questions. You can find me on Instagram at Mama Medicine. You can join Space by Mama Medicine at spacebymamamedicine.com. And take care of yourselves. You can get this book wherever books are sold. And thank you so much, Tegan and WellSet, for having me.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. And I'm definitely, this is not like a paid promo or something. I'm definitely going to go buy it. I feel like this is such a really wonderful time for everyone who's stuck at home to take that extra time and create ritual spaces within maybe the chaos of your home. I know I've been talking to a lot of people who are stuck at home with maybe a lot of kids or roommates that they normally are able to get away from. And I think this is a really great way to carve out some space that's just completely for you and your own healing. So thank you so much. And I think you've brought something really incredible to the world.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.